The Lighthouse Group is a full-service agency of over 30 locations and 350 team members, providing innovative solutions in 5 diversified areas of insurance. Originating in Holland over 20 years ago, Lighthouse is proud to be a supporter of Tulip Time Festival and can be found online at lighthousegroup.net.
Award. They have competed in jazz festivals in New York and Washington, D.C.
Next, we have some queens here.
Miss Sand Lake, Cheyenne Bowens, her court, Jenna Castle, and Alila Malnar. And we now also have Grilla Grills. They sell grills. And somebody, we have a gorilla.
Like a gorilla.
We have a gorilla, obviously, selling grills.
In the house, yep. Huntington Bank, welcome to Tulip Time. Bunch of their employees down here, one of our local banks, and we appreciate them contributing here today.
And they got the Huntington Frozen Treat Truck.
They got the green going.
Yeah, lots of green. Well, we're midway through the 4th division here, and
we have 7 divisions, so we're moving right along down here this afternoon.
Now, coming up next, this is actually a recipient of an award for the best tulip display. This is the Holland area first robotics team. This consists of students from Holland High, Holland Christian, Zeeland, and the I Academy.
So 4 different schools represented on this float.
And
the new robotics teams are beginning right after the first of the year, and then they'll have about 6 weeks to get everything together. And
you actually have the robots on this float.
Yeah, these are last year's, not this year's, if I'm not mistaken. Every year the game changes a little bit. Thank you, guys. And you see some of the mentors in the back. Dino, good to see you, Dean. How you doing? Still with it, Bobby. Bonzak, yep.
Nick, you referred to that sometimes we get bands from out of state. Well, our next band comes to us from Merrill, Wisconsin. Merrill High School.
Welcome. This is, I think, a new entry for us.
It is.
Yep.
And they have won 5 consecutive state marching championships in the state of Wisconsin. They are in the royal blue and white trim with flag girls in black stretch pants and red blouses. And from Merrill, Wisconsin, let's give these guys a listen. Ellie Wilk is their director.
We got one of the moms running around making sure they get enough water. They got an electric guitar.
Looks like an electric bass there, but they got an amp right behind it.
Yeah, right behind it, yep.
It's amazing what they do with marching bands nowadays. I mean, amazing what you can have in a marching band. Our next float comes from West Michigan Regional Airport. The airport connects employers and employees to customers and suppliers around the world, and a big part of the economic engine that is West Michigan. The city of Zeeland, city of Holland, Park Township, the member entities of the West Michigan Regional Airport Authority.
Well, here comes it. Again, I want to say thank you to our local companies that are donating vehicles like R.E. Barber Ford, Elhart.
Right.
That are, Hondas, I think Crown Motors are just provide some of the vehicles that are used to pull the floats here today. I want to say thank you to them. Next up, we have
the Ottawa County Republican Party.
John James.
We have a number of elected officials. John James, who's running for the U.S. Senate. I see Brad Slaw, who is the county treasurer and is now running for the State House. Now we have the Holland Area Salvation Army Band.
And they've got a new facility that's being built over here on the east side of town. And their band. Of course, they're known for their red kettle.
Absolutely.
At Christmas time.
And then we have a Salvation Army float with the Swan windmill depicted.
Very nicely done. Thank you for your contribution here in our community. Next up, we have Holland Walmart. Save money, live better. Of course, Walmart located on the north side of Holland, off from Lakewood Boulevard.
We have a number of folks wearing Walmart Tulip Time T-shirts and hoodies. Our next entry, Chan's Martial Arts organization. Now, I'm familiar with. One of my kids went through that program. Great program that teaches the kids self-defense and self-esteem, and really good organization.
What do we represent?
All different ages in there, Greg, not just young kids or some adults that are in it.
Then we're going to take a break here, Nick, and we're going to come back with more of our Tulip Time Festival Quality Car Wash Music Parade. After this, you're listening to 1450 WHTC.
Tulip Time Festival coverage on 1450 WHTC and the new 99.7 FM is presented in part by Russ's Restaurants, family restaurants serving homemade goodness.
This Tulip Time Festival forecast from WHTC.com calls for cloudy skies for the rest of this afternoon, high of 62. Showers later tonight, low of 49. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, high of 68. And then as we start the week out on Monday, a high of 71 and partly cloudy skies. Currently, it is 54 degrees both in Zeeland and in Holland. You can follow the 2018 Tulip Time Festival on 1450 WHTC and the new 99.7 FM. And let's take a look at traffic. The parade route is mostly what you want to avoid downtown. That's going from 8th Street going down to River Avenue. Those are what you'd probably want to avoid. Otherwise, if you're looking to get either towards or away from downtown, I would go down to 16th Street. That's pretty much cleared up, as well as Lakewood Boulevard. That's got a little bit of traffic around Beeline Avenue and closer to 31, but it shouldn't be too bad. The intersection of Douglas Avenue and Butternut Avenue is pretty rough as well, so I would recommend staying away from that. But as we get closer to the end of the parade, Greg Chandler and Nick Weber are still out broadcasting live at the parade on right off of Central Avenue. So if you're over there, go give them a little wave and say hi. But right now we're going to listen to some messages, and we'll come back to Nick and Greg at the parade. You're listening to 1450 WHTC and the new 99.7 FM.
Radio. It's nothing new. It's been here all along, with free entertainment, news, sports, music, and information. It's not just part of life, it's part of who we are. You know which station is going to tell you the score of the game, which one's going to give you a laugh in the morning, which one is going to give you something to sing along with. You know where to turn when the weather gets rough. When something big happens, good or bad, you know where to go because radio has been here all along. Radio is part of your community, woven into the fabric of what makes home, home. And now, radio has evolved to move with you with the Next Radio app and your FM-enabled phone. Just plug in your headphones to start experiencing radio in a whole new way while using way less battery and data than streaming apps. Check out the live guide to see and interact with live radio stations. Easily find your favorites like the one you're listening to right now. And as always, it's totally free. Download the Next Radio app today. Next Radio, live and local wherever you go.
How would you like a chance to head to Comerica Park this summer for our Tigers game featuring the legends of 1968? To celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Tigers' 68 World Series win, you could win tickets to one of 5 games and possible prizes like a 68 replica road jersey and bobbleheads of some Tiger stars of 68. Register now at the 6 area Vista Springs locations, including Holland, the Washington Square Minute Mart, and Minute Mart East, along with 1450 WHTC, the new 99.7 FM, and 92.7 The Van.
Go get 'em, Tigers!
Tulip Time Festival coverage on 1450 WHTC and the new 99.7 FM is presented in part by Vanderveen's Dutch Store.
Back with you in downtown Holland. Nick Weber, Greg Chandler with you. We just heard the Columbia Central High School Marching Band from out of Brooklyn, Michigan, in the Irish Hills of Michigan. They are in this festival parade, Nick, for the 74th consecutive year. Wow.
Man, yes, unbelievable.
I mean, outside of our local bands here, I don't think there's another band that has been in part of this festival as long as Brooklyn Columbia Central has been. under the direction of Brian Akers, about 400 students in the high school. As we continue on, we have the Mrs. United States pageant featuring Susan Elnager, who is the Mrs. Michigan representative, the Rink, a roller skating ministry, Beechwood Grill and Wood Truck. Of course, the Beechwood Inn got a little bit of a renovation job.
Takeover. Yep. They've been out there, and it's a good job. Get the fish all you can eat on a Friday night. Killer.
And now we have the National Asparagus Festival.
That's coming up pretty quick.
Yes, it is. Oceana County celebrating its 45th festival coming up June 8th through 10th. Vicki Platt is the asparagus queen. Hi, Vicki.
She's alumni.
And she is a Hope College graduate.
Gotta love it.
First runner-up, Valerie Fedowa, and they represent Oceana County.
That's a little bit north of here. South Holland, Illinois, Calvin Christian School.
That's another regular up here at the Tulip Time Festival from the southern suburbs of Chicago.
Gotta be fun for those kids to come down here. Next up, we have the Lakeshore Family Chiropractic, sponsors of Tulip Time Dutch Dancers. We appreciate them and their float down here coming through.
Yeah, we have a little truck there being pulled, and we have an example of a spinal column, of all things.
You probably see one of those with a chiropractor.
Oh, yeah. Well, I go to my chiropractor, definitely. So coming up next, the Echo 190. This is a first-of-a-kind service to West Michigan. It's big in Australia and the United Kingdom. It cleans, sanitizes, and deodorizes commercial and residential trash, recycling, and yard waste bins. You always wonder about how do you
clean those things?
How do you clean those things?
Without sticking your head in and
it's not fun.
And throwing up. No, you don't want to do that.
Now we have the Miss Madawan Scholarship Program. We have
Emily Cossum and Gracie Bonema.
Yep, our Miss Congeniality and 2018 first runner-up, respectively. And then following them, we have a couple of the other competition.
We have Alex Stills and Lauren Morsick.
Yep, the Miss Entrepreneur and the second runner-up.
Ooh, the Frisian Connection. I love
gosh, those classic Frisian horses. And they originate from the province in the northern part of the Netherlands. Many of the folks who came to Holland came from Friesland. And it looks like, to an outsider, it looks like Friesland, but it's Friesland.
Oh, we got an accident here we got to clean up.
We got to be able to clean up the messes.
And she gets a nice hand here from the crowd. We got a little bit more. Things slow down just a little bit. The streets have been declared clean. We got to keep them that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
can't have John Karsten coming back down and telling him we got to scrub again. Now, coming up next, we have Over Isle Lumber, which has been part of the Holland community since 1925.
I got to believe that Jason Slink is driving that vehicle.
I'm sure he is.
And his wife, Lindsay, will be on the back someplace, and his 3 kids, I'm thinking.
Our next entry, Square Play Cafe, a kid-friendly specialty coffee shop in Washington Square. Features hands-on creative play activities for kids, along with lattes, espresso, coffee, and snacks. It opened just a little over a year ago.
I like snacks.
Snacks are good.
Yep.
Coming up next, we have WWT M3. Yep. Keith Thompson is waving at us.
Yep, he's been there forever. Nice job.
The rain is held up. Great job, Keith. Our next band, one of our premier bands, the Madawan High School Wildcat Marching Band from Madawan, Michigan.
And we hopefully will pick up a little bit of music for them for the second time, because the premier bands start at the end and work their way back. And they've already performed once, and we'll catch them here today.
Bill Boswell directs the Madawan High School Marching Band, as we mentioned, one of the premier bands of this 2018 Music Parade. We now have a car from McDonald's, a Mustang, convertible.
Reminds me of Tony Castile's McDonald's restaurants here in Holland. Thank you.
Crown Motors coming up next, 5 Holland locations.
And again, they donate vehicles down here for Tulip Time Committee. We just appreciate what they do every year and contributing and helping out down here with Tulip Time. 2018, again, we thank our sponsor, Quality Car Wash, sponsoring the Music Parade.
Our next festival is the Red Flannel Festival in Cedar Springs.
They're dressed appropriately.
They're dressed in red, and they've got red flannels covering themselves. Jenna Alcumbrack is the queen. Court members Morgan Nauta and Emily Pearson. The Red Flannel Festival held the first weekend of October every year. This is the 79th year of the Red Flannel Festival. Hey, who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters, where's Bill Murray when you need him?
The Tulip City Ghostbusters. Yes, it's a thing. They are a cosplay group. If you're familiar with anime and cosplay, this was started by Kim Colleen. She drives around in a Jeep Wrangler called the Ecto 1. They make appearances at Comic-Cons, festivals, car shows, and parades around the area and do a lot of special events for the community. Our next float, Remax Lakeshore.
They're all staying warm down here this afternoon. They have the hot air balloon that quite often they'll have that out once in a while. You'll see that down by Windmill Island, that area down there.
All right, our next, we now have the Michigan Apple Committee. We have the 2018 Michigan Apple Queen, Emily Croft of Lowell.
In a GTO with probably a 454 in it. That thing sounds huge. My Father's House Church welcomes you to Tulip Time, and I think our kids from Hope College, our group that went, our immersion trip went and helped out at their church. So
it meets in the old Montello Park Church
that area,
off 20th and Plasman. They had their band here earlier in the parade.
Okay.
So now we have Meyer Incorporated is coming up. We have more of La Casa here. It is a bilingual church.
They had some music going here.
We have the Meyer Thrift Market. The original truck, or actually a replica of the original Meyer truck that came in 1938 that Fred Meyer started. Who knew it was going to grow into the
Meyer? And it's not only in the state of Michigan now; it's in some of the surrounding 5 states.
It's in Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Wisconsin. Now we have MVP Athletic Club.
Ooh, look at that! They're pulling that Jeep.
That's a feat of strength. I couldn't do that, Nick.
Okay. Yeah, maybe, Greg. Yep, MVP located over here on 120th and about 32nd Street, just back off from that a little bit.
Well, we're getting down into the final division, Nick, here of this music.
And we have Holland's finest minus Dan Kinder this year.
Dan's always part of the iron, isn't he?
No, he's on a Segway right now, and I think Adam Israels has now taken his spot. They used to have 5 guys. Now they've got 4 guys. And again, if you're a policeman in the city of Holland, we just thank you for your service throughout the year.
And we also have the Holland Department of Public Safety Officer of the Year, Sergeant John Boovey. And he's in the police car.
Yeah, he's getting a ride today.
Yeah, a well-deserved ride.
And again, they're responsible for getting everybody in and out of here on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and throughout the year, all of our visitors that come in and out. We just thank you for the effort that they've been putting forward, especially this week.
Worth noting that not only the full-time officers, but you also have a very significant reserve unit as well.
Yep. Now, Gary was saying something about they're going to be auctioning off this car or something, this Rotary Club car.
Yeah, and this is a... on the float today, you have some of the students from the Rotary Exchange Program. You have students from Brazil, Thailand, Japan, and Switzerland that are here on that float.
They're enjoying Tulip Time, too, for the first time.
A very cool program, promoting an international exchange program. You have people from Holland that are attending classes overseas. We have recumbent bikes from West Michigan Bike and Fitness. Oh, I love those recumbent bikes.
Yeah.
We now have the Marine unit from the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department.
Don't be long, they'll be on the lakes doing their job.
Oh, yeah. And it won't be long before we see all the boats out on the lake as the weather warms up, and that Sheriff's Patrol will be out there in full
Making
force.
sure you got your life jackets on. Next
Absolutely.
we have Ileana Christian, green and white. They're here every year.
Yep, they're from Lansing, Illinois, under the direction of Patricia Menninga and Kim Mesman. They have been here for over 20 years at this music parade.
Nice outfit, green and white. And hopefully we'll pick up a little of their music, Greg.
Yep, a Kelly Greenwood. Our next entry is Consumers Credit Union, and we actually have walking $100 bills.
You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. But we got about 20, 25 people that are wearing $100 bill costumes.
They're worth their weight in gold.
Absolutely.
And we got another festival that's being represented here, Craig.
Pulaski Day, celebrating the Polish heritage that takes place in Grand Rapids every year.
Red and white.
Yep, Queen Carly Johnson and her court, Emma Arcelowicz. And then the Danish Festival.
Yep, that's over in Greenville, isn't
That
it?
is correct. Molly Rodenhouse and her court, first runner-up Lena Hansen, second runner-up Emma Skutset, young Miss Araya Brembry, and junior Miss Brooklyn Trainer. The Danish Festival held the third weekend in August in Greenville, north of Grand Rapids.
That is correct.
It's a 4-day event. Our next entry, Lighthouse Group Title and Insurance, here in downtown Holland.
Located over there on 16th Street, if I'm not mistaken. The Lighthouse Group, and I think they have a fingerprint around Michigan, too, not just here in Holland.
Yes, they do.
That's a big truck they're in.
All right. Well, we've had a beautiful afternoon. The rain has stayed away. We're getting close to the end of this parade. Our next entry, Camaros of Michigan. This is a nonprofit organization raising money for charities, and oh, by the way, they drive really cool Camaros. They raise money for charities like the American Cancer Society, Shields of Hope, and the Dana-Farber Cancer Institution. You can find out more about them at camarosofmichigan.com.
And they've got their tulips on the windshield wipers. They've got them stuck in the side of the cars, looking pretty cool.
You got Camaros of various vintage. You got the more modern ones, but I see
There's a classic thing there.
I see a Z28 back there, I think, from the 80s.
You hear it too.
Vroom,
Yeah,
vroom.
they've been around quite a long time. Camaros, Firebirds, Mustangs, that era. And it just keeps perpetuating itself. Tulip Time 2018 brought to you by our good friends at Lighthouse Title Group, by Compound Door, by Russ's Restaurants, Medici, Neapolitan Pizza, Phil Nykamp, 5-Star Real Estate, Washington Square Mini Mart, Glendon, Lakewood Flowers, Randy's Carpet Care, Battle Flow, Bouchelle Sales, Vanderveen's Dutch Store, and Mapleview Animal Hospital.
I like this last one. It looks like an actual car that's actually competed in races. It's got even got the number 6 on it, and it's got the logos, and it's got it looks like the paint is scraped off the wall or something.
It looks like it's been in a few races, yep.
Coming up next year, we have
American House.
Which
Senior Citizen Group, yep.
Yep, and they have independent assisted living and memory care options.
I believe they're located on James Street.
I believe you're correct, sir.
Just a little bit east of 120th. And we got some of the residents in the van down here being driven down.
That's kind of a cool, you get a chance to drive down the parade route.
Yep.
Our next entry, Menchie's Frozen Yogurt.
Very fitting for today with the temperature.
Yeah, get some froyo, and then we even have a walking froyo waving at us in the topping pink, white, and green.
Kind of cool.
All right. Well, we've had some classic cars today, and we've got another classic car carrying the 2018 Boys and Girls Club of Greater Holland Youth of the Year.
That's Paul Kleinexel driving, and when my daughter got married, Paul came over, and our kids sat in the back seat down here. He's a relative. He loves his pig in the blankets. He bought that car, and he's owned that car since he bought it when he was 16 years old.
Well, the 2018 Youth of the Year, Aaliyah Harmon. She's an 11th grader at West Ottawa High School. She's a member of the Cheer Squad, Drama Club, and the track team. She's been part of the Boys and Girls Club for 6 years. She's been a girls group participant, a lead squad program. She was the team coach for the elementary cheer squad during competitive soccer games at the club, and she's also involved with Young Life. She wants to go to my alma mater, Central Michigan University, to study communications.
That's where I got my master's.
All right.
We're good there. Next up.
The Michigan Fallon Deaffoot Association. This is a peaceful mediation practice. Introduced in 1992, it's now practiced in over 100 countries by over 100 million people. It has its roots in China, and you even have a drum band.
Very colorful outfits. Yep.
A royal blue with gold. And then you have a float right behind it for the same organization that is a giant lotus flower, approximately 8 foot high. And you see a demonstration of the various exercises that are conducted. Their motto, truthfulness, compassion, forbearance. Our next entry coming up is the Miss Michigan Princess, Ariana Gonzalez, representing the National American Miss Teen Program. Miss Michigan Teen Keegan Snow, representing National American Miss. Cheyenne Gonzalez, representing American Royal Beauties. Miss Liberty Athena Daniels, representing American Royal Beauties. And they're in a royal blue Mustang convertible.
And they got it loaded up. Next, we have the Michigan Maritime Museum at the Tulip Festival. And, of course, that's an outstanding group. Cottage Homes is the sponsor of that, and we thank them for coming through here today. And here comes Cottage Homes down here, and this is a vintage boat.
The Lindy Lou. It's a recreation of a Truscott River launch. River launches like the Lindy Lou used to ply along the Black River from 1890 to 1930. And around 40 to 50 of these launches paraded up and down the river. The Michigan Maritime Museum down in South Haven. All right, coming up next, we have a float from the Holland Rescue Mission, which has been part of the Holland community for over a century, serving homeless men, women, and children in 2 shelters. Of course, the most recent activity is the new Gateway Center out there on US 31. I haven't had a chance to visit there. I need to get over there one day.
Daryl Bartlett, the director. We'll
fabulous organization.
Yep. How you doing, Aaron? See you tomorrow.
They have a state licensed vocational training school, also an addiction recovery and vocational training program. And there's Daryl right there.
Yep, he's up front and center.
So, I mean, they've made a difference in so many lives in people around the Holland community.
Yep, there's a fundraiser at Emmanuel Church. I think it's September 8 or 9 this year, and the donations from that car show go to the mission every year. We're glad to partner with them here in Holland.
Our next group, the Vietnamese American Association of Michigan, their mission to preserve Vietnamese culture and heritage and serve Vietnamese Americans in the area with healthcare, social, and civic issues. And some of them are dressed in traditional Vietnamese clothing.
All different ages down here, men and women, carrying American flags.
And there's a couple even wearing Vietnam veteran hats because. You know, there was the Vietnam War. The U.S. fought alongside South Vietnam before the communist takeover by North Vietnam. Our next entry, Michigan ENT and allergy specialist in Holland, Grand Haven, Granville, and South Haven.
It's the time of the year where you have allergies.
Oh goodness! Don't get me started on that. That's there's 3 sure things in life: death, taxes, and having allergy issues in the spring. We get a float. Our next thing, Positive Options. That's the Lakeshore Pregnancy Center, operating centers in Holland, Grand Haven, Allegan, and Allendale. with a huge RV adorned with tulips on the outside. And we got some small motorcycles. This is the West Michigan Cushman Club. Cushman scooters were made in Lincoln, Nebraska from 1936 to 1965. You might not realize this, but Cushman scooters were used at airfields during World War II, which was called the airborne drop from parachutes behind enemy lines. What we're seeing right here are models that were produced from 1950 to 1965. And it's not a regular full-size motorcycle, and it's not one of those small scooters. It's kind of something in between, Nick. Our next entry, we have the Kerwood Festival in Owasso.
The Queen's Court.
Yeah, Queen Mary Kate Wright and court member Haley Roth. These two young ladies represent the Owasso Festival, which takes place the first full weekend in June in downtown Owasso, held in honor of the famous author and conservationist James Oliver Kerwood, who was from Owasso. Our next entry, Orange Theory Fitness.
Coming in the fall.
Yes. Best 1 hour workout in the country, voted by the New York Times. And Nick Weaver, it is hard to believe, but we have come to the end of this 2018 Quality Car Wash Music Parade.